Hello, and welcome to our first episode of Gaming Backlog, a mini podcast where we talk about anything and everything gaming. I'm Beena, and I'm here with my friend, Shelle.
Hello! Welcome to our first episode. Let's go!
Yeah, and today we are talking about game sequels. So, Shelle, what are your experiences with game sequels?
Not a lot since I've only started gaming really recently. Well, recently, 4 years. But, the much-awaited Hades 2 is now on early access.
Hell yeah.
And FYI for everybody, Beena and I absolutely love the first Hades game.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, including myself, absolutely love it. I even think that it is better than the first one.
Really? Like, legit?
Hot take.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And we'll get to more to detail of that later. But with that, it got us thinking, what games that have sequels that are better or more successful than its original game? Honestly, the first thing that comes into mind is Helldivers 2.
Oh, I love Helldivers. It's been so fun just playing Helldivers. I think some of us, our friends have just gotten kind of addicted to it. So
yeah, it was really fun for me too. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Mina, you and I first experienced Helldivers on stream for Game 8. We did first.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, it was
there was
wild.
Just so much going on.
It was very chaotic. My kind of game, totally. Because I personally love shooters. You guys should see me play Valorant or Apex Legends or Overwatch. Jesus. I would rage, but I love it, I can't get enough of it.
I am very bad at FPS games. I like to tell myself I have the lack of skill of a noob and the rage and modding tendencies of a veteran.
I mean, you are a good medic though. You always give us supplies on Helldivers.
I'm just very good with assisting, but going in the front line, people just, I don't know. My back can't. I cannot. But they're managing, and it's very epic and very entertaining, and it's very energetic and adrenaline pumping. I think every now and then I just have to catch my breath when you play because there's just so much going on. Yeah. And it's just also wild that I never really heard of Helldivers at all before.
The first game.
Yeah.
The first game too,
because
right?
number 2, it's popular. It's been everywhere. You've seen the news and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just got a bit curious with Helldivers 1, and it's kind of wild because more or less there are some similarities, but one of the more distinct differences is the format. You've seen it, right? I think HD1 is top-down base maps versus HD2, which is a third-person shooter.
Yeah, Helldivers 2 is a third-person shooter, which honestly I feel like it's more immersive because I've seen the gameplay trailer and the gameplay videos of Helldivers 1 and I'm like, oh, it's a top-down. Okay, that's cool. But I've never played top-down shooters before, so that's interesting. But with Helldivers 2, it feels more immersive because it feels like you are the Helldiver. You're going there. You're going to the planets yourself.
Suffering in HD, you know?
Yeah, full HD 4K, dude. Yeah.
Helldivers 1, it kind of has a more omniscient type of play. You can see the mobs of your enemies a little bit farther, with more foresight because of the top-down aspect. But whereas with Helldivers 2, like what she said, it really makes you feel like you're in the thick of things. You don't have any godlike periphery. Yeah. Whatever you see is whatever you see. And it's up to you how you go through and look through everything. And you could be focusing and sniping like a boss one moment until some robot just slices your belly in half right behind you and you never see them coming. You really are an initiate just fighting for super then democracy, and you really feel the adrenaline pumping through you because you are in it. And if you don't perform, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because in the top down, I imagine that you can see everything, even right behind you, if there's an enemy about to sneak up on you. I can't count the amount of times where a charger just suddenly bursts behind me and I'm like, what the hell?
So bad.
No, it's a charger. Oh no. So yeah, in Helldivers 2, since it's a third person, there are blind spots. It does feel more you're in there, you're immersed. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious though, is the premise of Helldivers 2, is it similar to Helldivers 1? Is there some kind of continuity in it?
Yeah.
Overall?
Yeah, I did research on about Helldivers 1, and what I see, yeah, it is the same storyline basically. Helldivers 2 takes place a century after the events of Helldivers 1. But yeah, basically the main core gameplay is still the same. So, you're in the ship, you get into a hell pod to get ready to go down, and like you choose your equipment, your gears, your stratagems, and then boom, you go down to the planet, and then out you go from the hell pod, and then, do your objectives.
I think the cool thing also is, in a way, it kind of just advances and masters an existing format and improves and enhances. There is another game that kind of comes to mind with that kind of approach. Mm-hmm. And I think you know this game very well, or at least you've heard of them. Mm-hmm. You've heard of this game very well. It's a Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, who hasn't heard of Baldur's?
Who hasn't?
Excuse me. Baldur's
Baldur's?
Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. Sorry.
It's classic.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I really heard that it's one of the most really well-made D&D translated video games. And I have been liking D&D recently. I have played with Beena and some of our coworkers outside of work of D&D, and it's really, really fun.
We have played together, and it was wild because we had a lot of newcomers coming in, and the cool thing about D&D is it's like this giant sandbox of kind of limitless possibilities and outcomes, because it's really the power of the theater of the mind and just how far anyone would want to go for a bit,
I imagine it'll be the same with Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, so I don't know. But a lot of people are enjoying it, and it is a lot like D&D.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges with video games in general, because with tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, because of the theater of the mind aspect, there's a lot more flexibility when things go in very vastly different directions than what may have been intended. Which is, of course, a kind of limitlessness is very, very hard to program into a video game. Mm-hmm. Which is why it's already impressive as is that Baldur's Gate 3 was able to incorporate so many options in just giving the players different kinds of creative problem-solving solutions they can discover for themselves. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler. There's a part where you go into a goblin camp and you have to find someone and kind of save them. And there are many ways you can go about. You can just completely stealth through the entire place. You can just go guns blazing. Well, not gun. There are no guns in Dungeons and Dragons. You can go there bow and dagger blazing and just wipe out the entire goblin camp for all you want. Or you can be a little sneak and kind of poison the water and just, give them an intense diarrhea that they they go bye-bye from it.
So it really is like a D&D kind of a sandbox, choose your own adventure kind of thing, that you have control with what you want each scenario to go, basically.
The game is huge. You have to get another SSD card just to put everything in. Oh, but damn. I think that's the really cool thing, because they give you options, capital O options. And it's not just the playability, the vast playability. It's the cutscenes, the visuals they're gorgeous. Everything that they translated into the classic Forgotten Realms of D&D, it was so beautifully done. Everything looks great. The cutscenes and the cinematics really give you that movie type feel. And the characters. Sorry, I had to take a moment.
I have heard some certain characters that are getting I've heard of Asterion. That's for sure.
Oh yes, everyone goes for I can fix him, Mr. I can fix him. But it's a compelling story. It's really good. I'm actually curious who you'd actually fall for. I'm kind of thinking who your type would be.
Well. I don't know much of Baldur's Gate characters.
Well, you've seen Asterion, right?
I have. He's okay. He's fine, but I guess he's too out there for me.
Oh no, he's too much.
I enjoy being his friend, probably, but not as a romance option.
Okay, that's very fair. He's a lot as a romance option.
Yeah, if there's someone this is kind of like Sebastian from Stardew Valley or Vincent Valentine, then I'll be I might be a go there. I'm kind of curious because it's already Baldur's Gate 3, meaning it's a sequel. This is like, it's the third game of the Baldur's Gate series. Would you know what's kind of like the main difference from the first two games to Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, in a way, Baldur's Gate has always been kind of like D&D-esque as far as my experience is with it. And Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, they do have a dice system, but more or less, it's kind of hidden. You have to kind of toggle some settings to find it. But with
I see. I have seen some gameplay that there are certain moments where in BG3 like there's like a dice that comes out to show you your roll. So it's kind of like D&D. Like it shows you the roll you have, whether it's a critical or not. And I find that fun. And now with you saying like the dice system, it kind of sounds like VG1 and 2 just has the normal kind of like turn-based RNG type of thing like video games usually have, I guess. So that's an interesting thing to add on Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, because I know in the first two games, it's very RPG based. It's more or less like, it's an enhancement of what they've been doing already. It's always been top-down, RPG based, RP based, and you make your own characters, etc. And the cool thing with Baldur's Gate 3 is it really does lean into the D&D TTRPG aspect of it, because there is this thrill in seeing you roll the dice and seeing if you fail or not, and just seeing all the buffs and debuffs come in. It kind of adds to the suspense at the same time as you wait for the outcome. But yeah, that's just really one of the other cool things about it, because it's also just enhancing its format, knowing what doesn't need to be fixed, but also not being afraid to challenge what they've already had and made, and enhancing it at the same time. And I think what also helped with getting a really clear view of what to add and subtract and whatnot is they had the game on early access beta, I think, for like the longest time. I remember buying it on early access and playing it before everything was completed, and they were still fixing things. There was like constantly having patches and patches every now and then, because they were constantly just putting in feedback. And I think that's a really good strategy for such a large game, because there's only so much a controlled number of people can quality control. And what better way to see if it'll work for gamers than to actually give it to gamers and say, hey, what do you think? What should we improve? What should we change? And I think that's a really cool thing that they have done. And I mean, they worked out. They won so many awards, and all the accolades they had, totally deserved.
Yeah, definitely. Which kind of sounds familiar, because it brings us to our main event, Hades 2. Because yeah, Hades 2 has early access right now, and they're pretty much like doing the exact same thing that Baldur's Gate 3, like you know,
right?
They put it on early access, and they're still polishing stuff. And honestly, I've been waiting this for so long, because I just love Hades so much.
Same. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. I haven't played games a lot until recently. I know like Hades is one of the games that I've always seen that I've always wanted to play, and when I got to play it, it's just one of my favorite games ever, aside from Undertale. So it's like so cool.
It is. I mean, it came at a really interesting time when a lot of people were cooped up, you know, 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yep.
It was a very good distraction, and it was just so good to... It was a nice opportunity to just have something else to think about. And it got even better because it was a good game. It was a great game. Supergiant did so well. It was a lot of firsts for them. And like what you mentioned, they had early access, I think, as well for the first game.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, like they had it on early access for so long, for quite a while, even before they had it on launch. But you know, hopefully that doesn't happen with Hades 2. I heard we're gonna get its full launch soon. And I also do need it so bad. Which got me thinking, because like I haven't really gotten that far in Hades. I have pretty much escaped once.
Oh my, okay.
I said I love the game, but I didn't say that I'm good at it, okay? Like I'm like in all of my runs, I don't know how much runs I have had, but like it's a lot. And like I've only escaped once. I know it has a main story, so I still have to like keep on escaping to push the main story forward, and I don't know. Come on. The game's still fun though. Game's still fun. I still keep on going because I do need to know my mother. Well, Dagger is his mother.
Mother.
At least.
Yeah, mother.
How many escapes have you done, Beena?
I don't know, maybe 90 plus. It's been a while. I have racked up until my highest heat level 15, I think, was my highest that I was able to do, I think. The cool thing is with Hades 1, because of the heat and everything else, there is a replayability. But now I'm hearing from the grapevine that Hades 2 is even bigger in scale than the first game.
Oh, yeah.
Is that really it?
Yeah, dude, it's still on early access right now, and even the devs themselves said that the Hades 2 early access right now has a lot more content already than Hades 1. So,
That's
yes,
wild.
like, it's already a lot bigger than Hades 1.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
Yeah, and it's really, already for that, it's already big for them because, like, it is such a huge feat. Wasn't it like Supergiant said about them like never doing sequels on their games?
That's right. They never really done a sequel. So when the announcement for Hades 2 just suddenly came, I forgot what award show that was, but it was one of the award shows, right? They just dropped the bomb on Hades 2 and everyone went crazy, and rightfully so. No one expected it, especially with the presumption that they're not going to do it again. They're going to just move on and do other IPs. But I think it's a good thing because Greek mythology is so vast and so creative and so unique. There's so many different versions of different stories that you could just really play around with it for ages and find new narratives to create with it. And I'm enjoying that they're playing with the kind of esotericness of Melinoe. Am I pronouncing it right? I don't know. Melinoe, yeah.
Hecate just says it like Melinoe. Melinoe. It's so weird. Like there's like
so hyper aware. I love it. So meta.
Yeah, like right. There's a different way to mention her name, so it's fine. It's okay.
Creative license.
Yeah, and even though like there's so much content on Hades 2, it's still in early access. It's really smart that the devs do this so they can polish it even more, kind of like on Baldur's Gate 3 when you mentioned it.
No, that's really true because I mean, in and of itself, Hades 1 having the early access, I know was a huge move and like strategy that Supergiant was playing on. They were very nervous. I watched those vlogs about how they were making it, and it was more or less a gamble because they've never done it before. But it did pay off because it won awards. It just blew up on the internet. Everyone is thirsty for everyone. Everyone is just.
Yeah,
I mean
I'm saying it at the same time. Okay.
My mind has to get out the gutter for a while, but
I mean, it's kind of hard to since Game 8, we kind of did a Hades video that you voice overed. No mention. Hello.
It couldn't be any more obvious how much we love the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone's just beautiful.
Everyone is beautiful. So beautiful.
Exactly. It's just lovely to see. I know that they've always wanted to play off the diversity of beauty in the games, and I know, and I've seen a few of the artworks on Hades too.
Yeah,
I couldn't resist, and everything just looks amazing, and I just love seeing different forms of beauty being displayed and celebrated.
I do want to mention, like, playing both games, when I first saw the new designs, there's something about the art style that I can't put my finger on, that they look the same, but not. And now that I've been playing back and forth between two games, it kind of made me realize that the first Hades game, Hades 1, has more contrast with its colors and shading, whereas Hades 2 has a more glowy, soft, vibrant feel to it.
No, it's kind of like the shadows are less pronounced. And that was something I loved with Hades 1. Like, I know in the video mentioned that Mike Mignola was an inspiration in tackling the character design and just the art overall of Hades 1. And because Mike Mignola's art is, it's Hellboy. And there was this strikingness to the intense shadows that gave it a oomph, that gave it a character. And while I understand that, of course, it's a different vibe, a different character, a different protagonist, the cast some of them are the same, some are different, some have changed in the period of time. So, of course, it's always cool to try new approaches to the art style. But I'm not gonna lie, I do miss that that impact, and distinctly Hades impact.
I do want to say, like, the gameplay, it's pretty much still the same. Like, it has all the familiar elements, but Hades 2 has more mechanics that you need to learn. Like, my playstyle for Hades 2 is vastly different from Hades 1. And Hades 1, because, Zagreus is a more physical being, and with Melinoe, she's a witch. She has magic powers. Like, it's nice that the game has, like, gives you more reason to use your cast, because I barely use my cast and special in Hades 1, but now in Hades 2, their mechanic for cast has it gives you more reason to use it, because it has it stops your enemies. Basically, it stops your enemies in its tracks. I use it a lot more now, like more than I did with Hades 1, so that's one thing that you should look out for.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, because Melinoe is very different from her brother Zagreus. Zagreus is a hard hitter. He's a fighter. He's a weaponist, and I know Melinoe is more of a
magic.
She's a witch.
Yeah, she's a magic user, so it does make more sense. Like, because in Hades 1, you can only like press attack or even hold attack, and then you can use your cast or special, like just press on them, and then you're done. You can use it. In Hades 2, there's new mechanics where you can hold your cast, so it has you can use your magic powers or your mana. And I like that they incorporated that, because maybe because a lot of people don't use their casts a lot or whatever. And it makes more sense because Melinoe is a magic user, and it's good that they incorporated still the physical aspect of fighting, but also incorporating her magic component.
What else? I know they're leaning into the witchy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What else about Hades 2 is kind of akin to that witchy vibe in the gameplay? Because I'm pretty sure it'll expound on that.
Yeah, because there's this place called the Crossroads, which is basically like the House of Hades in the first game. So that's where you interact with the characters, talk to the people and everything. There's kind of a new mechanic. It's called the Cauldron, where you can concoct stuff to improve the Crossroads. So it's kind of like the house contractor in the House of Hades.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So unlike maybe because it's still in early access, but unlike the house contractor, there's no options to for aesthetic stuff, for rugs, draperies, or seating stuff. It's mostly you concoct a spell to summon a farming plot in one of the areas, or to build the hot springs or whatever, or even you can even use it to summon the wretched broker and even Lord Moros. Sorry.
So you mentioned a hot spring.
Yes.
I've seen things I probably should not have seen. Can I ask just a little bit, what's up with that? What's going on?
Okay. Honestly,
what is the steamy shit going on?
Okay. Yes, that is a new mechanic. Very new. I don't think there is an option for that in the first game.
No.
But yes, the hot spring, I think it's one way to romance ? I'm not sure, because you can pretty much invite anybody, and as long as you have 2 hearts with anybody that you can talk to. So Nemesis, Hecate, Odysseus, Lord Moros. So basically, you can invite anybody that you have 2 heart relationship with already into the hot springs, and you can talk about stuff there. Honestly, I haven't gotten there that far. I haven't had anybody with 2 hearts yet. I can't really say anything about that, not gonna lie. So I don't know if it's a romance option, or is there anyone else that you can invite to the hot springs. As far as I know, as long as they're in the Crossroads, you can invite them to the hot springs.
Even Hecate?
Yeah, even Hecate. Yeah.
Oh, so you can see the washboard abs.
Yeah, even more.
Intellectual sexiness. Again, I'm sorry.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, the game still has a lot of placeholders as art. I don't even know what Narcissus looks like yet.
Ooh, that'll be super cool to see, because it's Narcissus.
Yeah, it's Narcissus, and he's supposed to be beautiful. But how beautiful is he? Is he gonna be more beautiful than Lord Moros? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, and they haven't even revealed the Hades 2 redesign of Charon. So
that's
Charon,
right.
So they don't have it. Yeah. I absolutely can't wait for the full release. And Beena, even though it's still in early access, I'm urging you now, buy it. Buy the early
I
access.
know.
Come on.
So tempting. No, I might, because I'm just, again, we love the first game, and I'm just hearing a lot of good things about the second one, and I know there's a lot of heart and soul poured into it. And then, it's just really nice to see devs really take their time to just make their second round of things done well. It comes to show that they care about their demographic and they care about their craft. Whether that means experimenting and hitting a few marks, but still pushing envelopes, I think it's in of itself a very admirable thing.
It definitely is. And I'm guessing that's all the time we have for this.
Yeah, that was a good talk. We talked a lot.
Yeah, we talked a lot. Yeah, we definitely did. But now we want to ask you, viewer who are watching us right now.
Yes, you.
What game sequel do you know and do you think is better than the original? Make sure to let us know in the comments below, because you know what we think. And yeah, we want to hear you.
Yes, let us hear you out, and hopefully we can just give us something to think about,
Yeah, like just have a whole discourse down there. And yeah, if you like this type of new content, just sound it off as well. Give us a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to us, of course.
But yeah, I think thank you for listening to us. This has been Beena
and I'm Shelle,
and this is Game Made Backlog, and we'll see you
in the next one. Bye.
Bye.